week 8 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I would try to buy low or just trade for in general this week. The first guy is Jamal Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Morant, he was on the list last week, and once again, he makes it again here in week 8 on the season. He's ranked 103 with 18.5 points a game, 2.2 rebounds, 7-point assist, 1.1 steals, 81% from the foul line, 46% from the field. But the last 2 weeks, Ja Morant's really struggled, and in this time, his ranking is 197 with 15.2 points a game, 2.3 rebounds, 7.7 assists, 1.2 steals. He's hitting a 3 a game, 82% from the foul line, 39% from the field for Morant. In the last few games, he's gotten a little better, but still not great games. February 4th versus Houston, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Then at New Orleans, February 6th, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 35% from the field. And then versus Toronto 2 nights ago, 5 of 17 from the field, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists. So Ja Morant, he's struggling shooting the basketball, and it's a big problem right now for Morant. His field goal percentage is down. He still don't really have an outside shot that he developed, and he don't really hit 3-pointers. The assists have been pretty decent, though, over the last few weeks. The turnovers, they haven't been that bad, but I believe you could go out there, and you don't got to give up a huge haul to get Morant on your fantasy team after he's been falling down the rankings the last few weeks here. So if you could get Ja Morant on a little bit of a discount or buy him low this week, this is the time to do it before he has a couple huge games where he goes for 30-plus points in those ball games. The next guard I would look to buy low this week is Victor Oladipo of the Houston Rockets. So Oladipo here, he's been pretty decent since the Rockets got him, but another guy that has to rest back-to-backs, and that's pretty frustrating for fantasy owners. On the season, he's ranked 100th in fantasy basketball, 19.8 points a game, 5.3 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.5 steals a game for Oladipo, 2.5 threes, 74% from the foul line, and 40% from the field. But over the last couple weeks now, the struggles have gone on for Oladipo. 16.3 points a game, 5.3 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.3 threes a game. He's making 33% from the field and 87% from the foul line. So Oladipo, he's resting back-to-backs. He's had a couple bad games here and there, and he sat out the last 2 out of 4 games for the Rocket team. So I'm an Oladipo owner. I'm pretty frustrated he's sitting out, but I'm not just going to dump him for anything at this point. But some managers might be out there willing to do that and dump him for anything. So if you could get Oladipo on the cheap, because I don't think the Rockets will have many more back-to-backs the rest of the season, it's a move you go out there and make, because Oladipo, we know he could score the basketball. He's a decent 3-point shooter now, and he can rebound and assist as well. So if you could get Oladipo this week for a little low of a price, go out there and do it. The next guard I would look to buy low this week is Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. Murray this season, he's been on the buy low list a few times, and on the season, he's ranked 90th with 18.6 points a game, 3.9 rebounds. The assists are pretty low at 4.4, 1 steal a game, 44% from the field. But the last few weeks, he's really struggled now, is Murray. 15.5 points a game, 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, a steal, 1.5 threes, and an awful 32% from the field for Murray. And the last couple games, he just hasn't done it, really, is Murray. His last game versus Milwaukee, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and only 1 3, and a woeful 23% from the field Murray shot in that game. And on the season, I expected Murray to have a huge year and pick up where he left off, where he was in the bubble, having 50-plus games in the playoffs last season, but that hasn't been the case. And maybe there's truth to that. The bubble, some players have been going off that haven't really throughout their career. But Murray, I think you could buy him low. He's still productive. He's on a good Nugget team, even though they've struggled the last couple games now. losing 3 in a row. But I think Jamal Murray, he could be a guy you could get, and you don't got to give up much to get him, in my opinion. He's definitely a buy low candidate. The next guard that's a buy low candidate is Russell Westbrook of the Washington Wizards. Westbrook, like these other guys, he don't play in back-to-backs really. But this season, it's been a struggle for Westbrook. 202, he's ranked on the year. 19.4 points a game. 9.2 rebounds. 9 assists. An awful 5 turnovers a game he's averaging. 1.4 threes a game. 65% from the foul line. And 41% from the field. And in the last week now, he's ranked 368 in this time with 12.5 points a game. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. 5.5 turnovers, 60% from the foul line, and 44% from the field. So Westbrook last season in Houston, people thought it would be ball hog central with Harden there. But Westbrook last year, he was at 27 points a game. This year, the rebounds and assists have gone up 1, and the assists have gone up on average 2 a game. But Westbrook, the field goal percentage is way off. The games he's missing, it seems like every back-to-back he's been out. And he's almost getting a triple-double, but he's turning the ball over at a record pace, 5.5 turnovers a game over the last few weeks. So Russell Westbrook, I don't think you got to give up much to get him. He's going to give you the stats, obviously, rebounds, points, assists, but besides that, he's not going to do much. And I think you could give up a low-end guy that you got at the back end of your draft or even in free agency, because he's not putting up the numbers. He's hurting percentages, like I said, and he's hurting your turnovers. But Westbrook, I don't think he could shoot any worse than he is. And I think he could go up from here. And I think it starts tonight versus Toronto. So he's definitely a buy low candidate. And the fifth and final buy low candidate at the guard positions, Devonte Graham of the Charlotte Hornets. Graham, he's been out now a few weeks with the injury to his groin. And he's not playing tonight versus the Memphis Grizzlies as well. On the season, he's ranked 117 as Graham, 14.3 points a game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.1 steals, 3 threes a game, which is good, 77% from the foul line, and 35% from the field, which isn't great. So Graham, he hasn't played since February 5th, and he's had a couple decent games along the way, but now he's going to miss his 3rd game in a row, and he's probably going to be out another game or 2, in my opinion. I think you could go out there and get Graham low. Like I said, his stats haven't been popping off the charts this year. His points per game have gone down 4 from last year. His assists a game have gone down 1.5, and his shooting percentage is down 3% as well. So Devonte Graham, he's not living up to the expectations where he got drafted this year in fantasy basketball, or the stats he put up last year. So I think you could go out there and buy him low, especially with the injury he sustained to his groin over the last few games. So that's a few guards. I think you could go out there and buy low this week here in week 8 of the fantasy basketball season.